If you have been searching for the perfect microphone for vlogging like Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, or whatever, but you don't want to spend a ton of money, might have a solution for you today from Saramonic. It's called the Blink Me. Welcome back, I'm Tony, and yeah, today we're going to be taking a look at another microphone, this one from Saramonic. Saramonic has been around for a long time. I've actually bought some of their adapters and stuff in the past to use for audio, but I've never tested one of their microphones, so this is a first for me. Right off the bat, I'm going to tell you this Blink Me is this is it right here, super surprisingly good. There are a lot of features to this thing, including the fact that you can customize the screen that's on here. It's a touch screen. The receiver has the touch screen. It comes with two microphones, and the cost on this thing is only $249. Now, for some people, you're thinking only $249, but let me give you an example. I get people all the time, whether you've been doing this for a long time or you just want to get started doing some creator content on YouTube or whatever. Dude, what equipment do you use? What microphones do you use? What should I get? I need something that will work with the camera, but also with my phone, that type of thing. Well, this does all of that. And I think that it's squarely aimed at that type of person, the person that's doing vlogging. Maybe you're doing interviews or something like that. Maybe you've got a logo for your brand, your channel or whatever. You have that on yours, and maybe on the other person that you're interviewing, you put their logo on it, that type of thing. You can do all of that with this microphone setup, and it's great. Yeah, it comes with two transmitters, one receiver, and everything works really, really well. Now, I'm using this for my on-camera stuff, but when I was filming the up-close stuff, I was using the Sennheiser microphone, which, it's just because I needed to be able to show you everything all at once. So I just want to make sure you understand. Now, I'm not knocking that Sennheiser microphone, but at about $700 and I only get one transmitter and one receiver with it, yeah, it is a big difference. So if you're on a budget and you need something cool to use that has great audio, this one might be the option. So let me go ahead and show you what's inside the box. I'm going to show you some of the features of it. I took it out the other day on a very windy day. I live on the Outer Banks of North Carolina, and we have a lot of wind. That's one of the reasons why the Wright brothers did their first flight here, right? So yeah, lots of wind. I wanted to test a little dead cat. Well, that's what we call them, the little fur windscreen that they have for these. And I just wanted to see how it all worked when it was outside doing kind of vlog style walking with it. So we'll do that. Then we'll come back and wrap it all up. Okay, so for clarification for this portion of this while I'm showing you this, I am not using the audio from the Saramonic mics. I've got my standard Sennheiser mic right now. So the case is actually nice. It's kind of a semi-rigid case, and you can pull that out to be a handle there. That's leather. When we open it up, you've got an iPhone holder here, and what this is good for, well, aside from the fact that you can mount it onto a tripod or whatever, you've got a cold shoe on here, so you can put your receiver on top of this, carry your phone around with the receiver on top. It actually makes it really convenient. All right, so over here in this side, this is everything you're going to need to make it work. So you've got two of these here. This is a clip that will clip onto your shirt. So you've got a magnet on, this magnet slipped out of there. So these are meant to use to mount all of your stuff together. A little magnet piece right here. Just going to pull one of these out. And there we go. See, just clips together, and then that would clip on your shirt. You can either do it that way, or this can go inside of your shirt and you just go together like that. That way it doesn't have to have any kind of clip or anything like that. It sits right on your shirt. That's how I'll be wearing it today. You can see I have a custom picture that I put on there. You can use that, or in fact, while we're here, if you press down on the middle there, you can see these little dots over here. Now I can scroll through the different displays that are available. And they have some on here that are already pre-done. Let me just do this so we can see them. There we go. But to me, the cool thing is the ability to actually go in and put your own stuff on there if you want to. Now, in order to facilitate that, they have an app. And on the app, you can customize those display screens. You can upload your own. It's really very cool. This is how I put this one on here. I put my little logo face, the cartoon face on there. It's relatively simple, and I think it's pretty cool. Plus, you can change some of the settings on here if you want to reroute the buttons or reassign the buttons or anything on here. You can go to each individual device and do that. Gives you information about it, your firmware, and all of that within the app. And that's how that came out. You can see I've got my audio levels there, and you can customize this further. There's a lot of stuff you can do. You can swipe down from here. You can go into the settings, and you can pair it, change the date and time, reset it, and all that. I've got mine to always on. That's the timed right there. And then, of course, your saver. It'll turn your display off after a short amount of time. But I like to leave them on. And if you pull up from the bottom of the screen, you've got onboard recording. Noise reduction, if you go in there, you can choose whether you have HD or original sound. The transmitter gain, if we hit that, we can choose to up that if we want to. Brightness of the screen itself. The display, always on, power saving, or auto screen off. And then your regular settings. And then this will take you home. Now, likewise, the display on here is a lot of features on here. You see this little arrow right there. It's pointing to that. That's mic number 1. If we take that off of there, we'll also see that show up on here. Takes a minute for this to get itself registered. And there we go. Now we've got both mics showing on the display here. So if you want to change the settings for the receiver, RX, then you just go like this, and you can go through and you can select all the different settings for that. Swipe that away. And then on each one of these, I can actually swipe up, and that will give me the settings for the transmitter 1 and transmitter 2, should I choose to do that. I can hit record right on there and make it record just on that one or on both of them or whatever. And you can also, right on the transmitter itself, you can actually just hit this button twice, 1, 2, and recording has started. You see that little red dot down there? 1, 2. And that stops. And I can hit this button once to turn off noise reduction, or hit it again to turn on noise reduction. And if I want to mute it, then I will just hold this for 1.5 seconds. And now it's muted. You see the little mute on the microphone there. There we go. Now it's not muted anymore. Now, if you wanted to put the transmitter onto a camera or something like that, well, you've got this cold shoe deal right here. You would use that, and you're going to put it onto that. Then that will just go right onto it. So yeah, that works out pretty good. And it's on there pretty strong. And everything fits nicely back into its little case here. And the reason why you have 2 of these for each one of the microphones, there's 4 there, is because when you put the little furry windscreen on here, which we'll do that right now, got that little attachment point right there, and it's just going to go onto the top. You'll see it has 2 little tabs. It's a little tricky to get on there, but there we go, just like that. So yeah, windscreen goes on there, but if you've got that on there, see how it sticks off the back? One of these is not going to be enough to keep it far enough away from your shirt. So take those and be like that. So those would go inside your shirt, and then that goes like that, and it sticks out far enough that it works just fine. And you take it off just the same way, turn it, and it's nice because everything just sits right inside this case. Now, they did send some little covers right here. These are actually screen protectors for all those things. I haven't put them on yet. I will, though. And then, of course, the 2 cables that you get with it. You've got this USB to USB-C, and then you've got the 3.5 millimeter jack. Now, of course, there are more settings that you could get into. The manual is very extensive, so you find out everything you need to know. But one thing that I really like is that they have a quick start guide, which, for all intents and purposes, you'd be able to do just about everything you need to know just from this quick start guide. You can see both of these are saying plus 0 dB. You can adjust it real easily if it's too hot or too low, so that's good. Plenty of information on the display. And by the way, something that maybe you didn't notice right off the bat is that this is also what charges your microphones. And as soon as you put your microphones on there, it turns them off. Now, of course, it does have buttons on each one of the, the receiver and the transmitters in order to individually turn them on and off, but that makes everything really convenient. So you go, mics are turned off and they are charging, as you can see by the little red light right there. You would just plug the receiver in order for it to charge. And you can also see over here on the side, you've got the output for the 3.5 millimeter. You've got headphones, so you can monitor it with headphones. Just make sure everything sounds right before you start to record. And then the USB-C up here is not only for charging and firmware updates, but now I don't have the cable right now. I ordered it on Prime Day, and for whatever reason, I still don't have my Prime Day stuff. You can take a USB-C to 3.5 millimeter and be able to plug that into your cameras. And then there's a USB-C to Lightning, which is what I would use to plug it into my phone, because a lot of people that are doing content creation and vlogging and stuff just using their phones. So that's pretty cool. So you can see your battery level right there. That is mic number 2. And of course, the noise reduction is on right now, 0 dB plus. You can see your audio levels right there, and that little M right there. It could either say L, R, S, M, or M with the little security symbol on it, which is what I've got going right now. So left or right sound channel. So if you had 2 mics going, you could put one in left, one in right, or you could do it with stereo, mono, or safety channel mode. The safety channel mode is what I like to run on there because it actually runs another channel behind it that is, I think, 3 dB lower, just in case something gets distorted. So that's pretty cool. It's just safety, you know? If you wanted to turn off the screen, you could hit that button right there and that'll turn it off. You get a blue light telling you that it's on. We'll hit it again. If you're on any of the other pages, like if you're going through one of these menus, if you hit this twice, it'll go back to, screen locked, and twice will actually unlock the screen as well. So if you wanted to make sure that you couldn't have any errant presses or something like that, you could do that with the lock. On the breakdown in the manual, it says you can use the USB-C port for charging the receiver and for transferring data. You've got a 3.5 millimeter monitor port and a 3.5 millimeter audio sensing output. So like I said, this thing could be used as simply as you wanted to use it, like from the quick start guide, or you can really dig in, and the manual is very extensive. And then there, of course, in the app, you can remap the buttons so that you could make it so if you press this twice, it'll change the dB or whatever. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of customization that you can actually do with it. So it's just very useful. I also want to point out that USB-C can be used to send audio to a computer or a smart device. You can output audio simultaneously, connecting the receiver to 2 devices via the 3.5 millimeter auto sensing output or USB-C output using a correct cable. Let me tell you about the onboard recording. You can record up to 22 hours of recording at 48 kilohertz 16-bit sample rate. I would go a little bit higher, so even 15 hours recording at 48 kilohertz and 24-bit sampling. So that's great. That's what I'm using. The file automatically splits after 30 minutes of recording, so it's easier to find your desired recording segment. Well, I'll take this microphone off. Just keep in mind, if the memory is full, the original file will automatically be overwritten with the latest file from the beginning. So yeah, just make sure that you know what's on there and you clear it off. But that's a lot of hours of storage that you could do on there. Now, of course, you don't need to use the onboard recording if you're just going right into a camera. But it's nice to have that option because sometimes I might be in a situation where I just want to put this in my pocket, put the microphone on, and be able to run around and do all my stuff. Later on, just come take the files off of the device itself. Let's look at the website real quick. BlinkMe 2-person smart wireless mic system with touchscreen, customizable transmitters, and recording. $249, like I said, is a really good price for something like this because my Sennheiser mics can't record onto the actual device. They don't have the customization that this does or anything like that, and they cost around $700. So this is a 2-person next generation wireless microphone system that delivers high quality sound to cameras, mobile devices, recorders, mixers, and other 3.5 millimeter TRS or TRRS input and USB-C cables. Touchscreen microphone transmitters feature 24 hours of onboard recording, active noise cancellation, and a vivid OLED display with customizable wallpaper user interface. Transmitters have a built-in Omni mic and can be affixed to clothing with included magnetic clips and mounts. Feature a 9-hour runtime, real-time metering, mute, and more. Dual touchscreen receiver features 24-hour runtime, mono stereo safety output setting, headphone out, vivid OLED display with metering, USB-C digital audio out, and a multi-device 3.5 millimeter output cable. They say the operating range is 328 feet. I don't know. That says line of sight. So if you're not directly facing it, I can tell you that at about 20-30 feet and it starts to cut out. But if you're facing it, which you should be anyways, it works fine. The microphone polar pattern is omnidirectional, 2.4 gigahertz digital frequency. And if you're a big audiophile, you may want to go look through their website to look at all of the specifications. Okay, so I've got the mic on right now. I have the windscreen on, as you can see right there. In the daylight, well, at least the image that I've chosen on here doesn't show up a whole lot, but you know, if I had a brighter colored thing, it probably would. Now I've chosen this pier right here because we always have a lot of wind, and I wanted to test whether the windscreen would work really well. This is a perfect way to test it. I really don't know. I don't have headphones on right now, but I can find out when I get back. And also to show you, like if you were doing a walk and talk kind of blog type of thing, you know, how well this would work. All right, so, oh man, besides, any excuse to come out here and look at the view is, it always makes me happy. Right now, I have got the microphone receiver plugged into the phone with a lightning cable. So actually what I've got is a Saramonic adapter that goes to the headphone adapter that you can buy for the iPhone, and then the cable that came with the microphones. All right, there we go. Now that one is turned off and this one is on. So let's just take this over here. All right, so I'll take a little bit of a walk here. I'll be right back, see how this thing is going out here in the wind. And we're just taking a walk out here. I'm gonna guess there's gonna be a significant difference, okay? Those kind of fur windscreens, they call them a dead cat, those things usually work really, really well. So, all right, should be a short test. We're just out here on the pier. Plenty of wind blowing right now. And if you were doing a walk and talk, or I don't know, maybe an e-skate video or something like that, you probably want the windscreen. So I'm really glad that they include those. But you know, I don't think you'd have to worry about that if you're doing anything indoors or whatever. So, all right. Always a good place to test for wind out here on a pier like this. So yeah, this has a lot of uses. I didn't cover every tiny setting and all that stuff. That's really up to you. You can look through the manual. It's very easy to understand. I was a little bit daunted when I first looked at it. I got to be honest with you. I opened it up. I was like, oh boy, there's a lot going on here. I just want to plug this microphone in. Well, if that's how you want to run it, quick start guide will get you going, and that's all you need to know. I love that you can actually just hit this button right here twice, 1, 2, and now it's actually recording right on the device itself. I know that just got hot because I don't have a screen on here and the microphone is right here at the top, but yeah, so 1, 2, and that should turn off. Yeah, so it's nice because if you just wanted to have a backup, or if you are recording on the run and I don't know, maybe you're doing something like I do with the e-skate. I use an Insta360 camera. Can't plug this into it, but I can put that receiver in my pocket and this on me and roll and just sync up the audio afterwards. So there's a lot of uses for this microphone setup. And like I said, Saramonic is a good company. They make good products as far as the adapters and stuff that I've used. So I was like, all right, well, let's give this microphone a try. Now, as for the magnetic way to attach this, I don't know if I want to go riding an e-skate like that because there's a lot of bumps and stuff like that. It seems like it's pretty strong here. It takes a little bit to get I don't want to pull this off because then the magnet will fall down and I have to reset it all up. But you see what I'm saying. I might want to use the clip portion of it. So yeah, what's good is that they give you all the stuff so that you can use it in any way. $250 I think is a really good price for that. Overall, I really like this mic. Yeah, it's a lot more than something like the $50 plug into your iPhone type things that I've shown you in the past, but I think it's worth it. Now, I play a lot of guitar. One thing I haven't tried this with is miking a guitar or something like that, but this is like a wireless lapel mic without having to have, literally, there's no wires. When I have a lapel mic, I've got this has got to go down into my pocket to the transmitter. And, that's not always the best solution, This way I don't have a wire. Transmitter can be in my pocket and everything can be hunky-dory. So if you're interested, I'm going to put a link down in the description where you can go there. I don't know that I have a coupon code. I'm going to write them and ask them if they've got one for me. If they do, I'll put that in the description as well, but I'll link it up for you so you can go check it out yourself. So brand new from Saramonic, it is the Blink Me, and I think they call it, I think they said Blink Me B2 or something like that on the website, but on the manual it just says Blink Me. And yeah, All the little things that I pull off of it, I always stick on the manual just in case I need to put them back on there. That's what those little pieces are that are stuck on there. As my wife likes to say, work smarter, not harder, right? Because then you're going, oh no, I got to find those things. And just in case you had to return it or something like that. But they do include screen protectors and stuff in there. Man, overall, great package. I want to thank you so much for your support here on the channel. It's been around since 2013. I've always covered things that are my passion. I'm a big geek. I love electronics. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I appreciate you being here. If you've been with this channel for a long time, well, I appreciate you checking out some of this newer content. You might find something in here that's useful for you. I have a thanks button that's down there if you'd like to support the channel monetarily. It is not inexpensive to run a channel like this. Cameras, mics, lights, all that kind of stuff. But the easiest way to support me is just by giving this video a like if you like what you see. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you can hit that red subscribe button down there and the notification bell. You'll get notifications when I upload new videos. Thank you again for your support. It's very humbling to me. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. We'll catch you next time on the Vapor Trail channel.